So you finally
I'm happy for Trinity Christian out in Texas.
yeah, Mo Washington, man.
Yeah, they won a state title.
That boy's a baller.
Dion.
Little Sanders, dude. What, I think he had five TDs.
Good team.
Only a freshman.
We were just talking about that.
How about Placer, though? You
Placer?
done? Are you still like pretty riled up from that Friday night showdown?
I'm just mad they're not on this list.
Yeah, you know, they were close to the next 5.
Yeah,
but
next 45.
yeah. Hey, they get Crenshaw, man. That's gonna be a fun matchup for those boys.
Yeah. All right, we'll give it a little bit more time, and we'll keep the rankings up as people. Let's go back to the rankings.
She just wanted to use that cool little transition there. I feel you.
Let's go back to the rankings because give some people some time to actually join us here live as we see the numbers starting to creep up as people join us. And if you're just joining us now, and we're looking at the new top 25.
Not much changed. A few teams won some state titles. American Heritage ran the table again this year. Patrick Surtan still has not lost a game as head coach there. Back-to-back undefeated seasons. They're number 3. Northwestern chilling at 19. They beat a very good Armwood team to win their first state title since 2007. And the new team at 25, we'll talk about them in a bit. They won the 7A state title there.
All right. The good stuff, and we're going to get to all of it here as you're joining us live on Facebook. Zack Poff, the national football editor, Steve Montoya. We got 2 weeks left of high school football.
It always flies by. It's crazy, man.
It does. So you got California playing this weekend and for their state titles. Then next weekend you got Texas closing it out right before Christmas. And the big one coming up this weekend, Mater Dei versus De La Salle. We'll get to that in a little bit. But we do have some new teams joining the top 25 this week.
We do. Let's start it, man. A team that's actually pretty close to us up here, Folsom High School. You know, it's been a big-time program ever since, you know, Mr. Graves, Jake Browning. They got another stud quarterback this year in Caden Bennett. They're 15-0 this season. They get Helix, you know, Reggie Bush's alma mater. They get them Friday night for a chance to win a CIF state title. And Joe Nada, man, this kid's impressive. You see the tape. Over 1,500 yards receiving, 25 touchdowns. Him and Bennett, one of the best 1-2 combos in all of California. I mean, you look at Bennett's numbers. The kid has over 4,000 yards passing, over 1,000 yards rushing, and only 67 touchdowns.
All right.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Kendall says Folsom's best team in California.
Maybe Norc. I don't even know if they're the best team in NorCal. Yeah. I could see them beating De La Salle maybe. But
might want to slow down a little bit on the best team in California.
I'm not sure if they'd even beat Corona Centennial, who's probably the 3rd best team in Southern California. So
now Folsom is legit, that's for sure. Number 24 team in the country, and they're rolling right now, and they can put up numbers like anybody. And they got a tough one, like you said, this weekend against Helix. All right.
I mean, at the end of the day, Helix is going to have the best player on the field, and that's going to be Isaac Taylor Stewart. He's a 5-star corner, number 2 corner in 2018 class. A lot of people are saying he's the best player that they've had since Reggie Bush.
That'll be a fun matchup.
Him and Nada.
Yeah.
That's going to be one of the best, you know, DB wide receiver matchups of the weekend for sure.
All right. If you got comments, you want to talk some high school football, leave them here. Mater Dei, first comment says Mater Dei is going to blow out De La Salle.
I agree.
Oh, okay. Mater Dei is the best team probably the past 10 years.
I've been saying that too.
No Narbonne out of Harbor City. What do you like them?
You know, they're really good. I got a lot of flack for having Long Beach Poly in the rankings, and Long Beach Poly beat Narbonne. So
that's true.
But Narbonne, man, you know, I think they're gonna win this weekend too. They're playing Pittsburgh. Jalen Chapman at quarterback. This kid's a stud, and they got Raymond Scott at linebacker. He's one of the best in the 2018 class. They got some studs out there for sure.
All right, Randy says Austin Westlake should be in the top 3.
They're moving up, man, you know.
Okay.
They've been in the top 25 for a little over a month now. They keep playing well. Cibolo still, man, this team was red hot. And Austin Westlake was able to beat them this weekend to clinch a spot in the semifinal matchup. Our guy behind us getting a little crazy. He kind of wants us to dance. But Westlake's been dancing this year, man. Nakia Watson, stud running back. He's been balling. And I think they're going to have a good chance to win that state title this year. It'd be the first since who's the starting quarterback for the Saints?
Drew Brees.
That'd be the first state title they get since 1996 if they win it all this year.
Glad I got that one right.
I know. I was like, don't say Chase Daniel.
All right, Lake Travis Cavaliers going to take out Katy this Saturday.
That's going to be a good game, man. We're going to preview it here in a bit. There's some big games this weekend. You know, Lake Travis, the defending state champs. Katy, one of the hottest teams this year, one of the best defenses. Katy's going for their 9th state title, which would be the most in Texas high school football history.
All right, let's continue on. Keep your comments coming, but let's continue on with another new team entering the top 25. This team is out of the state of Florida after a nice state title victory. Yeah,
Venice High School, man. You know, their only loss this year, Steve, was against a very good number 2 team in the top 25, IMG Academy. They beat the 3-time defending 7A state champ St. Thomas Aquinas in the semifinals. Then last week they beat Joey Gatewood, a big-time guy, Auburn commit, in Bartram Trail in the state title game. Bryce Carpenter, Javon Healy, stud. You know, you look at Healy, the wide receiver. He set Florida state records this year. He had 131 receptions, 2,359 yards, and 32 touchdowns.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Anytime you're setting Florida's single-season state records, you're doing something right. This is one of the best teams in the state of Florida, and getting recognized as being one of the best top 25 teams in high school football too.
All right, Aaron, we're going to talk about the team you got mentioned here in a bit, the team out of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
They're next on our list. We're going to talk about them here in a second, but we'll continue through some comments. Danville, Boyle County in Kentucky getting some love.
Okay.
Baker County, Midway Panthers, modern day best team in the nation, Austin Westlake, Coach Dodd.
Yeah.
Pretty good coach.
You know, you can make a case he's the best coach in Texas high school football history.
All right. We're going to get to the Lake Travis game coming up. And so a lot of Lake Travis comments coming in, so we'll talk about that game for sure. But let's talk about this team out of Pennsylvania, man. They're really, really good.
Yeah, Pine Richland, man. And
I like the snow, too.
Yeah, you got to love Pennsylvania football, man, in the snow. Phil Jerkovic, man, this kid's a baller. Notre Dame commit. All he did, Steve, 5 total touchdowns in this one. They snapped St. Joseph Prep's 27-game winning streak, won easily, 41-21 dub in the 6A state title game. They go from 24-12, and best of all for these boys, first state title ever in school history. So big-time year for Pine Richland, man, and Jerkovic easily in the National Player of the Year race. He had a big-time year. Right around 4,000 yards passing, right around 1,500 yards rushing, over 60 touchdowns, and then he balled for 5 in the state title game. Big time for Mr. Jerkovic. Notre Dame's got to be happy. I'm not. I'm a USC guy, but
that's a nice quarterback there for sure. And they were playing good all year.
Yeah.
Congrats to them on the first state title. If you can, let's pull up the top 25 for those just joining us right now, so you can see the full list here. And we're going to switch over to looking ahead a little bit. Yeah. And you see number 1 right there, Mater Dei, is traveling up north to play number 15, De La Salle. Now, I understand Mater Dei on paper is the better team if you're looking on paper versus De La Salle. But De La Salle has been to a state title game every single year. This is a first for Mater Dei. So you cannot just count De La Salle out because of what's on paper.
You can't just count out De La Salle, man. You know, as you mentioned, you see this a lot in NFL football too.
Yep.
You got to, for example, like a team like Jacksonville might be hot going into the playoffs, but if they matched up against like a Tom Brady,
right,
at the end of the day, you're going to go with the team that's got the more experience. They've been down that road before, but Mater Dei is so talented this year where they definitely going to be the favorite. But if they go in overlooking De La Salle, that's going to give De La Salle a good chance to pull off the upset here.
Yeah, and then so we'll talk about that game a little bit more, and then we're also going to talk about number 6 right there, Katy, going up against number 23, Lake Travis, a huge one in Texas. But let's roll a little bit of this Mater Dei De La Salle highlights. And De La Salle's got a big task there with that quarterback right there.
JT Daniels, man. You know, he's only a junior, having a big-time year. These are highlights from their 49-24 dub against a very, very talented St. John Bosco team. And just the plays JT makes with his feet this year has been truly remarkable. You got Brew McCoy right there. He had 3 touchdowns in this game. You also got Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jacoby Harper running the rock. This team's very talented. It all starts with Tommy Brown in that offensive line along with Chris Murray. You know, these are a lot of seniors on the offensive line, and St. John Bosco could not get any pressure on JT Daniels, and St. John Bosco has one of the best edge rushers in the game, especially with Cole Aubrey. He was nowhere close to Mater Dei. And then you throw in Mater Dei's defense. A lot of people are talking about them having secondary was a little weak this year, very young, and that's actually turned into be one of the biggest strengths for Mater Dei this year, led by Darion Green-Warren, man. He's only a sophomore. Kid's been an absolute stud. And then, Solomon Tuliaupapu, the stud linebacker, he didn't play last game against St. John Bosco, battling a foot injury. Doesn't look like he's going to play against De La Salle, but it was not a factor at all against St. John Bosco, so I don't think it's going to be a factor without him against De La Salle. And at the end of the day, De La Salle, they got a pretty good defense too. So
yeah, and De La Salle, they've been there and they know how to win, and really good coaching staff. So it's going to be a good one. If you're in the Northern California area or if you're out west, come watch this game, because you're going to see two of the top programs in the country going at it. And
yeah,
you can
just
see
look at
De La
this
Salle
defense,
right here.
man. They're hungry. Henry Toto, a linebacker, one of the best, and you got Tulio Sanoa. He's a stud USC guy too.
Yeah.
De La Salle's good, man.
Yeah, and everybody all year, this is going to be the game De La Salle loses. Oh, Pittsburgh is going to beat De La Salle. Oh, this team's going to beat De La Salle. At the end of the day, De La Salle knows how to win.
They do know how to win, especially big games like this. Last year they lost to St. John Bosco, but the year before that they played a very good Corona Centennial team, a team that was #1 in the country with Javon McKinley.
Yeah.
De La Salle won that game with Boss Tagaloa and Devin Asiasi. So if they can win the battle in the trenches, they're going to have a chance against Mater Dei. That's going to be tough, though, because this Mater Dei team is the best in the trenches, I believe, on offense and defense. They get pressure on the quarterback. And the thing with De La Salle offensively, we know they're going to just want to run the ball. They got to find that balanced attack if they want to beat Mater Dei, because if Mater Dei knows what you're doing on defense, it's over.
Yeah, and I'm sure De La Salle wants to keep Mater Dei's offense off the field.
Yeah.
All right, so let's keep it going, and let's go to the state of Texas.
Yeah, that's a big one right here.
Katy, Lake Travis. Those are just, if you know general high school football, those two names
National
come up.
powers.
Yeah, year out, and it's Katy, Lake Travis. A lot of comments going on here thinking both these teams should be up in the rankings. What do you got in this game?
Yeah, hey, Katy's #6, so they're pretty high up. And
I think Lake Travis is the one.
Yeah, they got a couple of losses, but you turn on the film of Katy, man, it's what they always do. Great defense, and then just get the ball to #2, Mr. DeAndre Glass, one of the best running backs in 2019. Dude's an absolute baller. I've been saying he's going to end up being better than Rodney Anderson and Kyle Porter, both guys balling in D1 at Oklahoma and Texas, respectively. You put on the film of DeAndre Glass, and I think he's going to be the difference this weekend against Lake Travis. I think he's going to have a big-time game against Lake Travis's defense. The matchup I can't wait to watch, those. Katy's just got a phenomenal defense.
Yeah.
But Lake Travis, man, these boys can score some points. You turn on the film right here, this is Garrett Wilson, one of the best playmakers in all of Texas. Shifty wide receiver, can score carrying the football too. We're 1,500 yards and 25 touchdowns this year. You got Matthew Baldwin slinging him the rock, a 2018 Ohio State commit. This is going to be a fun matchup because Lake Travis has one of the best offenses in the state. Katy's got one of the just most savage defenses in the state. This is going to be a get your popcorn ready type of game for sure.
All right, yeah.
And the winner potentially could get Allen in the state title.
That's a good one for sure. All right, lots on the line this weekend. Obviously, state championships for
you guys got a big one on Saturday, right?
I'll be in Crenshaw. All right, watching a good one down there. But every state but one will be done after this weekend. Then it's only Texas, and then right after that Christmas break, we'll probably put out our final
rankings. I think we're planning on to drop those on the 26th, the day after Christmas. That'll be another Christmas present for everyone. And then we'll be dropping All-Americans, that week after New Year's.
Yeah, so. I guess there's still some games in that Geico
it looks
Bowl
like St. Francis Academy is going to play Bingham. So real quick, let's pull up the rankings one last time. So that looks like we're going to get number 11 versus number 7. So that'd be a big-time matchup. The other game I heard kind of swirling they might do is Chandler's most likely going to be there at number 18 because it's in Arizona this year.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get American Heritage from Florida. So we could get two big-time games. We'll still wait and see. because the state of Georgia, they could still potentially pick a team from Georgia, so they haven't announced both matchups yet. But it's looking like it'll be Heritage Chandler and Bingham and St. Francis Academy. So we'll see.
Okay, so maybe some shuffling inside the top 25.
Yeah,
if anything.
and those games, you know, they're obviously they count.
Yeah.
But it's not like a state championship or that playoff type of game where,
right.
for example, if St. Francis Academy beats Bingham, yeah, they'll probably flip-flop places, but Bingham wouldn't drop a ton.
Got it. Yeah, and Bingham's been done for
It's
quite
been
a while.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they beat East in a little over a month ago. So.
Yep. All right, we're going to wrap it up. I think this will probably be our last live show. Maybe we'll go again next week. We'll see. But only one state will be going after this week, and that's in the state of Texas. Zack Poff, Steve Montoya, thanks for joining us all year long.